Imagine a world where every move on the geopolitical chessboard not only redraws lines on maps, but also redraws the rules of international relations. The Ukraine war, ignited in early 2022, not only transformed the landscape of Eastern Europe, but also catalyzed shifts in the global order that could redefine the 21st century. This essay delves deep into the corridors of power, revealing how a regional conflict has the potential to reshape world politics. The geopolitical significance of Ukraine cannot be overstated. Nestled between Europe and Russia, its strategic position has been pivotal historically. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Ukraine found itself at the crossroads of Eastern and Western interests. The path to conflict was marked by significant events that increased tensions. The annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 was a critical juncture, followed by the conflict in the Donbas region. These events were not isolated, but part of a broader narrative of regional instability. Russia's apprehension towards NATO and EU expansion into what it considers its sphere of influence was the immediate catalyst for the 2022 invasion. Moscow perceived these Western movements not merely as encroachments, but as existential threats to its geopolitical stance. Post-Cold War, NATO's strategy evolved significantly, focusing on expansion into Eastern Europe. This eastward move was designed to stabilize and democratize former Soviet states, but sparked severe backlash from Russia, viewing it as a strategic threat. The inclusion of Eastern European countries like Poland and the Baltic states into NATO marked a significant shift in the security landscape of Europe. These expansions were met with stark opposition from Russia, which saw them as a direct challenge to its influence in the region. Similarly, the EU's expansion efforts, particularly the Eastern Partnership, aimed to strengthen ties between the EU and Eastern European countries. Russia perceived these actions as Western tactics to diminish Russian power and influence in its neighboring regions. The world is transitioning from a unipolar to a multipolar order, with the Ukraine conflict as a prime example. The dominance of the US is being challenged by other nations, notably China and Russia, signaling a shift towards more distributed global power. Emerging powers in the BRICS grouping, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, are increasingly asserting their influence on global affairs. This shift is reshaping international relations, making conflicts like Ukraine more significant on the world stage. The implications of this war extend beyond regional issues, affecting global alignments and alliances. It demonstrates that local conflicts can have far-reaching consequences, influencing global economic, political, and security dynamics. Western nations responded to Russia's actions with extensive economic sanctions. These measures targeted key sectors of the Russian economy, including finance, energy, and defense, intended to isolate Russia economically and weaken its war capabilities. Despite these efforts, the Russian economy displayed resilience, supported partly by its robust energy exports. Sanctions pushed Russia towards forming tighter economic alliances with non-Western countries, particularly China, helping to mitigate some of the economic pressures. This scenario underscores the limitations of economic sanctions in today's interconnected world. While they can impose significant economic strain, their effectiveness is curtailed in a globalized economy where alternative partnerships can offset the impact. Europe's energy landscape has been dramatically influenced by the war. The continent's heavy reliance on Russian gas and oil has been a critical vulnerability, spotlighted by the conflict's impact on energy prices and supplies. The war has accelerated discussions within Europe about energy diversification. There is a growing consensus on the need to reduce dependency on Russian energy resources, which has intensified efforts to transition towards more sustainable and varied energy sources. These changes are not just about energy security, but also about geopolitical alignment. Reducing energy dependence on Russia can decrease Europe's geopolitical vulnerabilities, aligning it more firmly with other global powers that oppose Russia's actions in Ukraine. Cyber warfare has emerged as a prominent feature of the Ukraine war. Both Russia and Ukraine have employed cyber attacks against each other's infrastructure, reflecting the growing role of digital warfare in modern conflicts. The strategic manipulation of information has also been pivotal. Both sides have used media to shape public opinion and influence international perceptions of the war. This battle of narratives is as critical as the physical skirmishes on the ground. The global implications are significant, highlighting the need for robust cyber defenses and accurate information dissemination. As warfare extends into the digital realm, the capability to protect and to attack using cyber means has become a critical element of national security. The humanitarian toll of the Ukraine war has been severe. Thousands of civilians have suffered, with many more displaced from their homes, creating a significant refugee crisis in Europe. The international community has responded with various measures, from imposing sanctions on Russia to providing humanitarian aid to affected populations. This aid has been crucial in alleviating some of the immediate suffering, but the long-term needs remain substantial. The global political reaction to the war has also been telling. Nations have taken sides, with some condemning Russia's actions and others cautioning against escalating the conflict. This division reflects broader global tensions and competing interests. The military aspects of the Ukraine war showcase a blend of traditional and modern warfare tactics. Both Russian and Ukrainian forces have employed a range of strategies, from conventional battlefield engagements to asymmetric warfare techniques. The evolution of military tactics in response to the conflict has implications beyond Ukraine. It provides insights into modern warfare's future direction, where hybrid tactics combining digital and physical attacks are likely to dominate. Strategic decisions made by both sides have not only influenced the immediate battle outcomes, but also have broader implications for future military engagements worldwide. Analyzing these decisions offers valuable lessons for military strategy in the 21st century. Ukraine's economy has been hit hard by the war. Beyond the immediate destruction, the conflict has disrupted trade routes, decreased foreign investments, and strained the country's financial resources. In response, international bodies and countries have extended economic support to Ukraine, aiming to stabilize the economy and aid recovery. However, the effectiveness of this support varies, with many challenges in ensuring that aid reaches those most in need and contributes to long-term recovery. The economic resilience of Ukraine will be crucial in determining its post-conflict recovery. The support from the international community, while vital, needs to be sustained and well coordinated to facilitate effective rebuilding. The Ukraine war has profound implications for global security, influencing how nations and alliances prepare for and respond to conflicts. NATO, for instance, has had to re-evaluate its stance and strategies in light of Russian aggression. The conflict has also raised security concerns for neighboring countries, prompting them to strengthen their defense capabilities. This regional militarization reflects broader anxieties about the stability and security of borders in a more contentious global environment. These developments underscore the importance of robust and flexible security policies that can adapt to the changing dynamics of global politics and conflict. The media has played a powerful role in shaping public perceptions of the Ukraine war. Coverage of the conflict has varied significantly across different regions and media outlets, influenced by political biases and national interests. Propaganda and counter-propaganda efforts by both Russia and Ukraine have sought to sway public and international opinion. The effectiveness of these efforts highlights the critical role of media literacy and the need for audiences to critically evaluate the information they consume. The impact on public opinion is not limited to the immediate regions involved, but extends globally, affecting international policy and public sentiment towards the conflict and the actors involved. The conflict has seen various attempts at diplomatic resolution, with negotiations and peace talks facilitated by international organizations and third-party nations. However, these efforts have faced significant challenges, with fluctuating commitment levels and ongoing hostilities undermining progress. International law plays a crucial role in these processes, providing a framework for negotiations and holding parties accountable for violations. Yet, the effectiveness of these legal and diplomatic channels can be limited by geopolitical interests and the complexities of international relations. Navigating these channels effectively requires a delicate balance of diplomacy, legal strategy, and international cooperation, underscoring the complexities involved in resolving modern conflicts. The future of the Ukraine war and its broader implications remain uncertain, with multiple potential outcomes. Scenarios range from prolonged conflict with fluctuating intensity to negotiated settlements that could reshape regional alignments. Long-term, the conflict could lead to significant shifts in international relations, influencing future geopolitical strategies and alliances. These outcomes will depend heavily on the diplomatic maneuvers and strategic decisions made by the key players involved. Predicting these scenarios involves understanding not only the immediate dynamics of the conflict, but also the broader geopolitical trends shaping our world, highlighting the interconnected nature of regional and global events. The Ukraine war is more than a regional conflict. It is a significant event with the power to reshape international norms and influence global geopolitics. This analysis has highlighted the complex interplay of historical grievances, geopolitical strategies, and the multifaceted nature of modern warfare. As the conflict continues to evolve, it remains a critical area of study for policymakers, analysts, and scholars. Understanding its nuances not only helps in navigating the current landscape, but also in preparing for future challenges in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. The insights gained from this deep dive into the Ukraine war underscore the ongoing importance of comprehensively understanding the multifaceted dynamics of international relations in the 21st century.